Good morning, everybody. Thank you for taking time to learn a little bit about Parchment. For those who are new to our story, we are the most widely adopted platform in the US for bringing academic credentials online, the transcripts, certificates, diplomas that you see here. We solve two basic problems. One, a very fundamental one, we get rid of paper. So we're getting rid of the envelope inside of an envelope inside of an envelope that you may remember with transcripts. That saves a ton of money in terms of efficiency. It allows diplomas to be not just framed on a wall, but used on LinkedIn and all over the world. It also makes things like undergraduate admissions, transfer admissions, where students have multiple transcripts. It makes international student mobility, all of those processes much more efficient. The other thing that we do is we take advantage of what digital can do for credentials and credentialing, and we innovate the credential. We make it more engaging, more informative, and more effective as a currency, and I'll show you some examples of that. We started with academic credentials, but this year is actually an important year for us because we're beginning to move into professional credentials as well. Not just the academic types of documents, but certifications, licenses, assessments, and other kinds of records that are key. Our mission at Parchment is to help turn credentials into opportunities. 1 in 2 adult Americans has a formal academic credential. 1 in 4 has a professional certification or license. And these are really important pieces of currency to help them access employment, admissions, continuing education, and beyond. It's how we certify knowledge. It's how we filter and discover candidates, and there's yet to be a platform that allows any individual to be able to collect and manage all of their credentials throughout their lives. We describe it as a platform because to bring credentials online, you really do need to support the entire ecosystem. On the left-hand side, you see all the different kinds of sectors that issue credentials, from high schools and colleges, big assessment providers like the GED or ETS, corporations, licensing boards. They're the issuers, and it's a really, really big market on the issuing side. But you also have the receivers, the destinations, the employers, admissions offices, licensing boards who collect and process and verify those credentials. You also have the consumer, the individual who's sitting in the middle. What all of these stakeholders need is the simplicity of being able to order your credentials online, pay for them online, verify them, deliver them, process them, share them, all of the things that technology can help use to make these credentials more actionable. Go to the wrong button. Two things make Parchment distinct. One is we truly are a multi-credential platform. So we don't just do diplomas, just do transcripts, just do badging. The way our platform works is we start with a comprehensive student data record. That can include experiential information, academic transcript information, links to e-portfolios, things of that nature. From there, we can generate multiple types of records, the diploma, the transcript, the certificate. This allows us to scale internationally. In Australia, they have the testimer is the diploma, or the AHEG. And then we allow different features for each of those credentials. We can print and mail them. We can email them. You can post them on your LinkedIn or Facebook profile, download them as a secure PDF. If it's a transcript, you can enable machine-readable data exchanges between databases for something like reverse transfer processes. We're even beginning to do pilot projects around certifying them on the blockchain. The other thing that makes us unique is this focus on credential innovation. So how do we take advantage of digital to make credentials more engaging? You see on the left-hand side the clickable transcript where I can click on a course ID and see the description of the course. I can click on a grade and see the grade distribution. In the middle, you see an experiential transcript that's visual. So I don't just have the word internship buried on my academic transcript. I can see the brands of where the student interned. I can see where in the world that they've studied, and I can see the different kinds of service learning experiences. And then on the right-hand side, you see the example of a clickable educational claim on LinkedIn, where the audience now can come in, see that the diploma is real, see a beautiful digital frame version, be able to verify it, and the issuer gets the marketing lift that shared certificates provides and understanding how their students are using them. As I mentioned, we are the most widely adopted platform. In just the last 12 months, we had about 3 million learners exchange about 9 million credentials, delivering them to about 4,500 destinations that are on the Parchment platform. As well, we can send to any open destination through email and other channels, over 10,000 of them. And in our history, actually, we started before 2011, but just since 2011, we served more than 12 million consumers on the platform, exchanging over 35 million credentials. Again, transcripts, certificates, diplomas. Our platform on the high school and college side, we're serving counselors and registrars, the folks that are responsible for issuing. We allow them to support students single sign-on, order online, pay for it online if you charge for your records. We integrate with the student information systems to capture the data, generate the beautiful digital version of it, as well as embed machine-readable data. We give you great analytics around who's ordering what and where they're sending it and how their credentials are being used. And there's also a big financial piece to this. Most of our members will actually charge for their records. So we're not only taking costs out, but we allow them to collect and generate significant amount of revenues for their offices as well. And we work with about now almost 30% of high school enrollments are at schools that are live and actively using Parchment. Over 20% of university enrollments are at schools that are live and actively using Parchment. And it's really a great network of institutions. On the receiving side, more than 80% of the admissions offices in the country use Parchment to collect and process credentials. You can get all of the records electronically through one unified inbox. You can download them or auto-deliver into SFTP. You can get it as data, and we integrate into different systems. Again, we work with great admissions offices, licensing boards. On the right-hand side, you see some of the great employers that students order through Parchment to deliver to as well. And then finally, the consumer. We allow the learner to be able to create a credential account where they can collect and manage all of their digital credentials securely in one place. And that allows them throughout their lives to make it easier to, again, turn these credentials into opportunities. And for folks like high school students, we even allow them to use their data in their transcripts and our metadata, our transactional data, to get college recommendations. What are my odds of getting into this college? So go to parchment.com and you can check it out. The beauty of our model is very simple. The more issuers we get, the more learners they bring to the Parchment platform, the more credentials we're exchanging, the more destinations are exposed to Parchment, the more destinations, the more issuers. So we've grown very quickly in terms of our transactions and are continuing to scale across all of the different sectors that we serve. Our revenue model is a mix of subscription and transaction. It's all recurring. And we, again, serve both the secondary and post-secondary market. So thank you for your time. And if you want to engage, please email me. It's easy. It's Matthew, M-A-T-T-H-E-W, @parchment.com. If you issue credentials, process credentials, or want to order a transcript, email me. Thank you very much.